Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all that you do for us. Thank you for bringing us these great men together. Speak through me and in spite of me as we talk more about Job 3 through 6. Bless in your name. Amen.
Yeah.
I think most all of you were here for the last couple of weeks, but remember in Job 1 and 2, we got into it quick. We found out that Job is amazing. He's got an incredible life. And in an instant, it's basically all taken away because of a little side bet practically between Satan and God. And poor Job has lost his family, basically. He's lost his house. He's lost all of his riches, I guess, with all of his animals. Trouble.
One of us.
Yeah. Who's not here? Why's it going? Go. My clicker's not working. Excuse me for a second. Nothing worse than a bad clicker.
Especially if the laser light doesn't work. Morning, John.
Good morning, guys. Hi, Don. Good morning, David.
Good morning, all.
No. Why wouldn't be working?
Battery, maybe?
Yeah. Normally.
There we go. Sorry about that. Nothing worse than a technological malfunction. All right, so 1 and 2 sets us up now for 35 chapters of each of these guys. We have Job and his 3 friends are going to have the stage, so to speak, for a chapter apiece multiple times. And Job 3 is going to start it off, and Job has the floor, so to speak. He curses the day of his birth. He mentions a character named Leviathan, strange creature in the Bible. It's also mentioned in Psalm and Isaiah, but it's basically Job displaying his emotions. I mean, his life was great 2 chapters ago, and now look how far it's gone downhill. And he talks about that. Job at 3 is also the most famous chapter in Job. Does anybody know why? No? No? Because it's in Mission Impossible. Does anybody remember that? Tom Cruise? Job 3:14? It's in the first Mission Impossible, on the train and all that. Anyway, Job 3:14. The verse is, with kings and counselors of the earth who built for themselves cities in ruin. How they chose 3:14, I have no idea. It doesn't really apply to even the plot in Mission Impossible, but it's part of that first movie with Tom Cruise. Just a little bit of trivia for you. So that's Job 3. Job 4 is Eliphaz, one of the 3 friends. Bildad and Zophar are the other 2, but Eliphaz gets to go first. His first speech, remember, he sat silent for an entire week. He came for his friend and sat there silent for an entire week while poor Job just lamented about how bad things were for himself. And he had all these sores on him from head to toe, and Eliphaz sat there silent. Now he gets to talk, And he says, whoever perished being innocent. I don't know if that's the friend that you want now, but he's basically saying, you're not exactly innocent, Job. If you're going downhill, you must have done something wrong for God to do this to you. And he also talks about a dream he had with the Spirit visiting him. Chapter 5, Eliphaz goes on to talk and say that, Job, here's what went wrong. He talks about wrath and envy, and he tells Job to seek God. He says, happy is the man who God corrects. Think about that. Happy is the man who God corrects. Maybe it depends on how you're corrected, because being corrected like a Job has been corrected is pretty tough. Job 6, Job is back on the stage. It's Job's turn again. Job says, why argue? He does criticize Eliphaz, and he defends himself, but he talks about patience. You've heard the quote, he has the patience of Job. People say that all the time. This is where it comes from. It's actually mentioned later in the Bible, James 5, 5:11, I think it is, where it talks about Job and the patience he displays. His life is in ruins, and he's still trusting God, waiting on God. And the quote I want to talk about today is, what strength do I have that I should still hope? What prospects that I should be patient? Again, think about all that Job has gone through. Think about how Job's life has literally been turned upside down, from being king of the hill to being way, way, way underground, basically, under so much pain and suffering. And he still is trusting God. Human emotion got the best of him. He's one of the most God-fearing men ever. That's just why God chose him, picked on him, depending on how you want to look at it, to let Satan have his way with him. But God shows us, and Job shows us, it's okay to be down and to struggle, that God understands what the plan is, what his plan is for you, what your plan is with him. And we have to trust God. But that's not easy with patience, is it? And that's what I want to talk about this morning, more than anything, is patience. Because, like I said, God understands your pain. And the biggest thing about patience is pain. Because that's what we hit when we run out of patience, is we have pain. But think about what you don't have patience about. And think about what you do have patience about. Because I would venture to guess, not everyone, because I know there's some type A's in here that I'm going to be wrong about. But you know, who doesn't have patience about, well, I have that one drawer I need to clean out, or that attic I need to clean out, or that garage I need to clean out. For so many of us, when it's tax time, we have patience for that. A lot of times we'll wait until the very end. If we have a tough conversations to have, hard conversation to have with our spouse, with our child, with a coworker, a lot of times when we have patience for that, it's called putting things off. Happens all the time. But when we run out of patience, is for things that we love, things that mean a lot to us. That's usually going to be something good or something that's important to us. You know, you may have run out of patience because you hit a red light coming here this morning. You may run out of patience because it's been since 2005 that Texas won a national championship. Maybe you run out of patience because it's been since 1996 when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. You know, there are things that you run out of patience for because you love them so, so much. They mean so much to you, which just shows that we control our patience. Because you know, I really don't care. I have lots of patience for whether the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl again. No offense, I'm impressed with John Harbaugh, but I'm not a Ravens fan. I just have the jersey. Think about what patience means to you and how you use it in your life. I want to tell you a story, and feel free to laugh, feel free to make fun of me, but it's a story about love. And it has to do with these two. I met the beautiful Kim Zook in 1988, and our first date was in April of 1988. April 23rd of 1988 was our first date. April 29th, 1988 was our second date, 6 days apart. And I won't go into the long story, but I didn't exactly make a great first or second impression. They were college parties. We were both students at UT at the time. And to say things fizzled out after that would be an understatement. So I didn't see her much after that. Talked to her a couple of times on the phone, saw her a couple of times in passing on campus, passing by. And then in December of 1988, because I still had a crush on her, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write her a note because that's going to win her over. So I wrote her a note, mailed it to her, and she actually called me and thanked me, and nothing else. Stop there. December of 1988. Didn't see her or talk to her again until October the 17th of 1989. That was the day of the San Francisco earthquake, if you remember, if that matters to you, if you want to put it on your timeline. And I was working in College Station at the time. I had graduated. I was a sportscaster in College Station in Bryan, yes, covering the Aggies. And it was Baylor week, and Texas playing Baylor. And I was at the A&M dining hall and their dorm where they lived, and that's where the R.C. Slocum and the players would talk. And a crew out of Waco comes in, and it's somebody who I'd gone to school with, the sportscaster there. And he comes in, hey, Mike, hey, Chris, how are you doing? We talk. And as we're talking and catching up, he says, yeah, this person here. And of course, Kim's at your sister station in Waco. And I'm like, huh? I didn't know that. Really? I don't hear another word he says. As he's talking to me in my mind, I'm going, I didn't know that. How can I get in touch with her? Sister station. That's going to be helpful. I worked at KBTX. She was at KWTX. Anyway, that night, right after the earthquake hit, I was supposed to watch the game and log the game, edit highlights from the game. But the earthquake hit, so now I had nothing to do. So I'm like, well, God's kind of forcing me to go make the phone call. So I go in to an office, call KWTX, ask for Kim Zook. They said, oh, well, she's at our Temple Bureau. Oh, okay. What's that number? They give me the number. I call, and she answers, and we talk, and we visit. And I lied and said, yeah, I'm going to be in Temple tomorrow. You want to go to lunch? And it worked. October the 18th. So we go from April the 29th, 1988 to October the 18th, 1989 between dates 2 and dates 3. Yeah, I move fast. Don't I? It's the patience of Job. And I can compare what Job went through, sort of, to what I went through, because it wasn't easy. I still had a crush on her all this time. I had no sores on my head and toes and everything in between, but it felt that way at times because it wasn't fun. You've been there. I mean, we all have at some point. It just mine lasted for a year and a half. Well, the story does not end there. We go out in October. I take her to the UT A&M game, December the 2nd, I think it was, or 1st. And then our 5th date was in January, on January the 31st. I take her to lunch. I drive up to Temple and take her to lunch. By now, I've moved to Austin, and I'm a sportscaster here in Austin. I'm big time. And which I thought was going to seal the deal. No, it didn't. So anyway, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving. I mean, for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, February 14th is coming up. I'm so excited about the big stuffed teddy bear. I'm going to send her flowers. I'm thinking it's in the middle of the Valentine's Day is in the middle of the week. So maybe that weekend we can go out and maybe I can kiss her for the first time. Again, I don't move fast. Well, I sent her the flowers on Valentine's Day, and it gets there at about 10 in the morning, and I'm waiting for that phone call. Like, hey, thanks. When are we going to get together? When are we going to see you again? Doesn't come. It doesn't come. It doesn't come. Doesn't come. Finally, at about midnight, I get a quick phone call. Thanks so much for the flowers. Goodbye. It's not exactly what I was hoping for. So now I've decided, okay, God does not want this to happen. I'm going to have some patience here. And I'm not going to do a thing until God makes it happen. And I last for 2 months. And in April of 1990, April the 15th, it was actually Easter. It was on Sunday. I talked to her on the phone. I break down. And I'm expecting, I'm hoping, I'm praying. It's been 2 months since I talked to her. It's been 3.5 months since 2.5 months since I saw her. And I'm expecting wow, where have you been? I haven't talked to you in forever. Is everything okay? When are we going to see each other again? Nope. Just, oh, how you doing? Okay. Good to talk to you. Bye. I'm done. My patience is out. I've got to give up. I've got to wait now again on God. And I've got to show patience because I've got to wait until God wants this to happen. When was this? This was April. Let's go to November 1990. Haven't seen her, talked to her. I have no idea if she still lives and works in Temple or Waco or anything like that. I'm assigned at KVU, I'm assigned because I'm the low man on the totem pole in sports. I'm assigned to be a news field producer for a live shot for the Phil Graham campaign in Bryan College Station. And it was a combination of my news director at the time. It was a combination of, well, A, you're low man on the totem pole, but B, oh, you used to work there, so you know your way around. So let's send you over there. So I drive over to College Station to the Hyatt or Hilton, whatever the hotel is over there. And I'm trying to figure out why is God doing this to me? Why am I having to drive over here? Why am I having to do news? Why am I having to do politics? I don't like this. This is not fun. I can't believe I'm having to do this. I'm sitting there as a field producer, basically spend all your time on the phone with the newsroom. And they're telling you, okay, here's what we want. Tell the reporter, tell the photographer, here's what we're doing. You're basically the go-between. It's not that important, but it can help out. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I look, and who walks into the room? But it's her. She's walking over there, and I make eye contact and I smile. I'm like, what am I going to do now? It's election night, 1990 election night, so not a presidential election, but it's an election night. So the night goes long, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and we finally wrap up, and they finally wrap up, and I finally talk to her. And we chat and ask for her number in case it changed, which it had. And wound up calling her up, and a couple weeks later, we go on date number 6. And a couple weeks later, we went on date number 7. And then y'all have heard the story about me being in the car accident, and I was basically in a coma at Brackenridge, and Kim found out about it, drove in from out of town, came to my bedside, touched my arm and said my name. At that moment, I opened my eyes, I grabbed her hand, and I started talking. And in March of 92, we got married. 7 dates in 3 years. That is the patience of Job. Mine. She was in no hurry at all. But the thing for you to understand, or the thing I hope that you understand, is that not that I'm perfect, and trust me, part of the problem is all my fault because of the way I played the whole situation. I understand that. I don't know if it was God's choice or not, but God's plan did work out. But it's knowing that you have to trust God when you need patience. Because again, when it's something that doesn't mean anything to you, you have all the patience in the world. When it's something that's unimportant, whether it's cleaning that bottom drawer or cleaning out the attic or filing that tax return, something that you're not looking forward to, not wanting to do, you can find so much patience, you don't know what to do with it all. But when it means so much, whether it's love like I had for Kim, whether it's the love you have for the church, for your job, for your family, for your favorite team, that patience runs out quick. But trust God, like Job is. And hopefully your maladies won't be like Job has gone through or is going through. But trust him and see how much patience he gives you. Let's look at some questions. Job honestly wants to know what he has done wrong and the lessons he needs to pull from this. Name a time when you struggled to find what God was trying to show you. Why is patience hard for you? And when have you shown great patience? Thank you.